Hello and welcome you once again in this new session of English literature. And the today's topic is the story of Dhruva. So let's start with the story. Once upon a time, thousands of years ago, there lived a king called Uttanapada who had two wives, Suruchi and Suniti. Suruchi was very beautiful and was the king's favorite. This made her haughty and proud. Suniti, the elder queen, was a quiet woman of a gentle nature and not very beautiful. Hence, both the king and Suruchi treated her rather badly. So there was a king, a thousand of years ago, there was a king whose name was Uttanapada. Uttanapada has two wives. One name was Suruchi, another's name was Suniti. Suruchi, she was very beautiful and she was very favorite of King Uttanapada, and this make her very haughty. Haughty means arrogant and proud. Suniti was the elder queen, but she was not as beautiful as Suruchi, and she was not favored by the king also. Both king and Suruchi, they treated her very badly. Soon the queen gave a birth to sons. Suruchi's son was named Uttam and Suniti's name her son Dhruva. Uttanapada was very fond of both of his sons, but his love for Suruchi made him love her son a little more. He always favored Uttama. If there was a quarrel between the two boys, he would like Uttama's side. But Suruchi was still not satisfied. She feared that the king might give Dhruva the throne, so she found way to make Dhruva's life as miserable as possible, hoping that he would run away. She devised various ways to trouble the poor boy in whatever way she could. The time passed. Both the queens gave a birth of two sons. The name of the Suruchi's son was Uttama, while Suniti's son name was Dhruva. And King Uttanapada loved both of his sons, but as usual, he always favored Uttam. If there was a quarrel between them, and always Dhruva was punished. King used to take the side of Uttam. But still Suruchi, she always think negative. She always think that king might give his throne to Dhruva. So she want to make the life of the Dhruva miserable as worse as possible. And she always used to do the tricks to punish the Dhruva. What she used to do, see in this paragraph. She puts pebble under his mattress so that he could not sleep well. She quarreled. She squeezed bitter gourd juice into his food and added salt to his drinking water. She rubbed the soles of his footwear with butter so that he would slip and fall. She even put a thorn under the saddle of his horse so that it would throw him from off when he went to riding. But Dhruva continued to stay in the palace with his mother, even though he was really upset and wondered what the woman had against him. So Suruchi, what she used to do, she used to keep the pebbles under his mattress. So when he used to go to sleep, he could not sleep well. And what she used to do? She used to add the bitterness of the bitter god juice. She just squeezed it in his food that it should make the food bitter, and always used to add salt in his water. And sometimes she used to rub the butter in his footwear, so that he used to go, he slipped on the floor. And the most vital thing she used to do with the horse, that she used to keep the thorn under the saddle of the horse. And as the he used to ride, when the Dhruva went to ride, he threw it on the ground. But still Dhruva keeps patience. He lived with his mother, and always used to think that why that lady used to do such a miserable thing with him. Every night he would weep and say to his mother, "Why is she being so cruel to me? What have I done that she is very nasty to me?" Suniti would kiss his brow and say, "Hush, hush, my son, don't let the tears fall. If she see you cry, she will know that she has won, and you must not let her have that pleasure." So mother, he used to ask to his mother when in the night when they go to bed, why this lady is do such a miserable thing with me? Why, mother? And he begins to cry. Then his own mother used to say that don't cry. If she see you that you are crying, she will think that she won what she wants to do. One day Dhruva went to sit on his father's lap along with his stepbrother Uttam, but he was stopped by Queen Suruchi by the cruel words. "You must not allow to sit on your father's lap," she scolded. "Only my son is allowed to sit on the king's lap. Pray to Lord Vishnu that you should die and be reborn as my son if you want to sit on the father's lap." Deeply hurt, Dhruva went crying on to his mother. He also wanted his father's love and affection. So one day what happened? Dhruva, he wants to sit on the lap of his father along with his stepbrother Uttama. But suddenly Suruchi came, and she thrown an harsh language, a cruel language. What she said? She said, "You must die. Pray to the god Vishnu to take you away from here to the heaven and come again and take reborn and be as my own son. Then only you will be allowed to sit on the lap of your father." He went away from there. He began to cry. He told his mother that, "Ma, I also want some love and affection of my father. Why should I be neglected?" Now this makes Suniti ran out of patience. Enough is enough, she thought, and decided to confront Suruchi. The next morning she went to see Suruchi and said, "Why are you being so nasty to my son? What has he done to offend you?" Suruchi tossed her hair and said, "If you want to know, his being alive offends me." "Don't say such wicked things," Suniti cried and horrified. "As long as he is live, he is a threat of my son. Do you think that I don't see him trying to become his father's favorite?" Suruchi said angrily. Next morning, Suniti went to Suruchi and said, "Why are you doing like this? What had done my son to you?" Then Suruchi hold her hair in his hand. She pulled her and said, "I hate your son. I don't want your son to be alive, because if he is alive, he will become the king, and I don't want anyone to become a king instead of my son." Dhruva, who was in the other room, heard Suruchi's word and decided to intervene. "People, please, mother," he began. "There he is, the flea, trying to feed to the king's blood." Suruchi said. Then he took a deep breath and added, "Can't you really see that the king doesn't really want you here? How can you be so shameless and stay on where you are not wanted?" So Dhruva was listening everything. He went to his mother and said, "Ma, leave, come here." Suruchi now said, "See, the flea has come." Flea here means a mosquito. Mosquitoes used to suck the blood from the body. Like that, he said, he is a flea and he is sucking the blood of his father. Though his father don't love Dhruva, but still he wants to stay here. I don't want to see this boy anytime, anywhere. Now Suniti began to cry, but Dhruva understood what Suruchi desired. He knew that Suruchi would not rest in peace till he remained in the house. He also knew that she hated him for the bottom of her heart, and could not stand the sight of him, as well as he wept his mother's tears and said, "I do not want to be king. I do not want anything that is given to me. Whatever I achieve, it should be mine, because I work for it. And you can keep the throne, the palace, the elephants, the horses, and everything else. Leave my mother alone and do not torment her." After saying that, Dhruva decided to leave the palace. So Dhruva said to his stepmother that, "I don't want anything, not a single thing. I don't want to become a king. I don't want any palace, any throne, any elephant. Keep everything. I do not want to stay here." And he decided to leave the palace. On the way to a jungle, he met an eternal sage, Narada. Narada was concerned that Dhruva was too young to be in the jungle alone. He tried to dissuade Dhruva, warning him that he would be eaten by the wild animals if he stayed there. But if he stayed there, the wild animals will eat him. But Dhruva was steadfast in his resolve. Satisfied that Dhruva had mental strength to remain in the jungle, Narada taught Dhruva the art of meditation. Narada instructed Dhruva by him, whose thoughts and thus concentrated on one only object and wholly filled by it, whose spirit is firmly under control. The prayer and we shall repeat to thee is to be inaudibly recited. Om. Glory to Vasudeva, whose essence is divine wisdom, whose form is inscrutable, or it is manifest of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. So when he went to the forest, there was a sage. His name was Narad. Narada said that you are too young to live in the jungle alone. Here, lots of wild animals are there and they will eat you up. But he has decided that he don't want to stay. He don't want to go back to the palace. He want to stay and to do the worship of the Lord. Then Narada taught him for the meditation. He said that worship will give you to whatever you want, worship, but it there should be a meditation. Save Om. The word Om, it should be audible. It should be listened to the world. It should be listened to the it should reach your voice in the heaven, where Lord Vishnu, Shiva, even Brahma will listen your voice. Then he start to enchanting the word Om and start meditation. He tried to impress the Lord, and Lord Vishnu blessed the boy, saying, "You are an amazing person. You are an amazing person who everyone ought to be knows about and look up to. Henceforth, after your time, you shall be the pole star, which shall be the brightest and the most constant star in the sky, which shall guide the people on earth no matter where they are." When Lord Vishnu saw that a young boy, he is doing the meditation, he wants the God to be pleased and to bless him. So Lord Vishnu came to the earth. He blessed the boy. They said that you are literally an amazing child. And I blessed you that when the time will over, you will become a star, a pole star, Dhruv Tara. We say the Dhruv Tara, the brightest star of this universe, this galaxy, and you will be the brightest and the most constant star in the sky, and you will guide the people of the earth wherever they are. Either it's in India or it is in America, Japan, China, wherever it is. Whenever they will see the sky, they will see you, and you will guide them. Yes, it is Dhruv Tara, it's a Dhruv pole star, and they will make their directions to make their direction to where the star is belonging to. They will make the site, and you will guide them. In the meantime, Uttanapad repented the injustice done to Dhruva. He was heartbroken at the thought of little Dhruva being devoured by the wild beasts. Narada consoled him, telling him that Dhruva's resolve was firm and that he would receive Lord Vishnu's blessings. Narada was sure that Lord Vishnu would protect the boy from the wild animals. When Dhruva finally returned home safely after receiving Lord Vishnu's blessings, King Uttanapada went personally to receive him. Queen Suniti was overjoyed at her son's safe return. In the course of time, when King Uttanapada became old, Dhruva was crowned king and ruled wisely for many years. When Uttanapada heard that his son is in the forest, he was very much worried, and he was repented also. Whatever he has done, it was wrong. He went to the forest where he met sage Narad. So Narad said, "Don't worry, your son is in a safe place. He will be blessed by Lord Vishnu, because he is a devotee of Vishnu, and he will return safely back to his home." When finally Lord Vishnu blessed him, Dhruva returned home. When he returned home, Uttanapada himself went to receive him. His mother Suniti was also overjoyed. when she saw that her son is safe. The time passed, Uttanapada became old, and Dhruva was crowned as a king, and he ruled as a wise king for many years. So, the story of Dhruva is a lesson to us all. We do not have to wait until we are old to attain spirituality. Sincere, steadfast meditation helps such a young child overcome an obstacle thrown in his way. It can also help us to all. It is the tale of a young boy's determination who received the blessings of the Lord Almighty at a young age, only with the single minded faith and belief. Since those ancient times, the stars of Dhruva, which is the Vedic name of the pole stars shining bright at the night sky, has been revered as a symbol of hope, right, equality, and justice. So, what does the Dhruva actually gives us the lesson? He gives us the lesson that there is a no age of meditation. There is a no age of spirituality. You can meditate. You can do the can call the God. You can love the Lord. Even you are very young. The main thing is that the concentration of the meditation, your faith, your belief should be there. If you have a belief, you have a faith in a Lord, in a meditation, in a concentration, you will achieve what you want. So the story of Dhruva also tells us it's that the Dhruva star gives us a symbol of hope, right, equality, and justice. So that's all for today's session. We will meet in our next session with a new story, with a new chapter. Till then, have a nice day.